Welcome, people. Do you expect perfection? If so, I'm going to give you a three-step process today that will help you to be able to better manage your emotions in situations and in circumstances where things are not turning out the way you imagined or did not go according to the way that you planned. Now, some of you I know have heard of the incident that happened at the Oscars with Will Smith and Chris Rock. Some of you have watched it, you've seen the show live, so you were a part of the actual event, whether you watched at home or from someone else's home. Some of you saw clips of it on social media. Whatever the case, I'm quite sure most of you are familiar with that incident. For those of you who are not, maybe you're not an Oscars fan, or maybe you're not really big on social media, long story short, Chris Rock was hosting the Oscars and he made a joke about Jada, which is Will's wife, and it was related to her hair. And we know some people are very sensitive about their hair, and it did not go over well. It did not go over well because, for those of you who do not know, Jada Pinkett Smith did not just voluntarily cut her hair. She is suffering from alopecia, which we know, well, most of us watching this video, I'm sure, know that that is a condition that causes you to lose your hair. Now, Will was not feeling the joke. Okay, some people say he intentionally laughed and then went up there. Well, we don't really know what was going on in Will's mind. We're not mind readers. But he did get up from his seat and he slapped Chris Rock. Now, Chris Rock was not expecting it. You can tell from his reaction if you saw it, the clip. Yeah, he was not expecting it. Now, did he handle it well? I'd say absolutely. Now, again, the three-step process. I'm going to give that to you because, as far as I'm concerned, Will could have used it. Okay? Jada could have used it as well, and so could have Chris Rock. Because the situation at hand did not have to go that way. In fact, I see fault in everybody. Everybody did not properly, or shall I say, clearly think through their actions. Okay? Will Smith didn't think through what was going to happen after he slapped Chris Rock. Chris Rock didn't think through his actions of how his joke was going to be received once he released it into the atmosphere. And Jada Pinkett Smith certainly didn't think through how her reaction, her response to what Chris Rock said was going to fuel Will to do what he did. And that's just my perspective on it. Because like a lot of people said, he was laughing at first. He was. But if you saw the clip, like I said, when you looked at her face, you could tell that she was not feeling the joke. She did not think it was funny at all. Now, for the three-step process, BET. So, for the acronym BET, B, breathe deeply, slowly. So, why do I recommend that? Well, simply put, breathing deeply, slowly causes you to have to concentrate. So when we think about breathing, most of us, if we just be honest, we don't really think about breathing at all because it's something that we do automatically. But in order for us to take a deep breath in, I mean really just, and release it slowly, that takes concentration. You have to think about that. Because God, the way he built us and wired us, I mean, he had the breathing process all thought out. We don't have to think about it at all. We just breathe naturally because that's how he designed the body to work. There's no work or effort on our part. But when you're taking those deep breaths and releasing them slowly, you have to consciously be aware and think about doing that. That gives you a chance and an opportunity to take a moment and really bring yourself into awareness of how you are feeling, which leads me to the E. Evaluate your emotions. That's what I said. Evaluate your emotions. Because here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with being angry. I will not tell you that Will was wrong for being angry. I will not tell you that Jada was wrong for feeling how she felt. And Chris Rock wasn't wrong for feeling how he felt about the joke that he made. Now, do I think it was a poor joke for him to make? Absolutely, because my perspective on it is he knows how this topic is very sensitive and quite hurtful for some people. In fact, as many of you know, Chris Rock was the one who came up with the movie or documentary, I should say, about good hair or bad hair. Okay, now the inspiration for that Good Hair Bad Hair documentary was based off of how his daughters was feeling about being told they have bad hair. So, do I think he should have made the joke? Absolutely not. But nobody asked me. Now, when you're evaluating your emotions, you need to be deciding in that moment whether you are in control of your emotions or if your emotions are in control of you. Because if your emotions are controlling you, more likely than not, you're going to do something or say something that you regret, and then you're going to have to go back and issue an apology. Is there something wrong with issuing an apology? Absolutely not. In fact, ownership is very important and necessary, because if you don't take ownership of your actions, then essentially you're pointing the finger or you're pointing the blame to somebody else or to something else. And as adults, we cannot improve our life if we're not willing to look at our shortcomings and say, over here, I need to get that together. Over there, I got some work to do. Okay, and that's just how that situation goes right there. Evaluate whether or not you're in control of your emotions, because you don't want to have to keep issuing apologies for going off the chain. You should not at least want to have to do that, because one thing I can tell you is true. You can apologize for what you said or for what you did, but you can never ever go back and undo what you said or undo what you did. Once it's said or once it's done, it's over. And you cannot go back and change the past, no matter how sorry, no matter how remorseful you are. There's always going to be something that you said or something that you did that had a negative reaction or response or made somebody else feel bad. And you don't want to walk through life being known as the person who just is out of control. You really don't. Now, for the T, take the time to think about consequences. Think about consequences. I'm telling you, if Will had took the time to take him some deep breaths, release him slowly, evaluate how he was feeling, and really thought through the consequences, more likely than not, he wouldn't have got up and slapped Chris Rock like that. I mean, he really put one on him. And I know you know, because you saw the clip. And if you didn't, I bet you're going to go back and try and find that clip so you can see for yourself. He would not have done that. For all of what he's done, all of the movies that he's done, the roles that he's taken, even his rap career, he prides himself on the way that he raps without even cursing. And he just completely was out of character that night. Not one of his finest moments. If he had a do-over button, an easy button, I guarantee you he would like to do that over. Same thing with Chris Rock. He did not take the time to really clearly think it through. Yes, on stage, he held his composure. But let's just be honest. Knowing that you're hosting this event and you're going to be making jokes, did he really evaluate that joke and how it was going to be received from all parties? More likely than not, he did not. He did not think about it. And like I said, by him making that documentary about good hair and bad hair, he should have known not to go there with the hair. That's just my thoughts on it. You can disagree if you like. I say he shouldn't have did it. He should not have done it. Now, for Jada, yeah, she may have not went off the chain like Will did. She didn't get up out of her seat. But certainly that facial expression, well, it spoke for itself. Because do believe me, sometimes you can say a whole lot and never open your mouth. You do not necessarily have to open your mouth to make a statement. And her reaction, definitely it made a statement. So, could everybody have done better? Absolutely. So again, that acronym is BIG. Breathe deeply, slowly. evaluate your emotions, and think about consequences. In a perfect world, everything would go as planned and everyone would meet your expectations. However, the world we live in is far from perfect. So expecting perfection, especially from people, is to set yourself up for frustration and disappointment. As always, I'm Coach Sam telling you, 24 hours doesn't seem long, but in 24 hours, you could change your life. So go ahead and do something life changing now.